Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and I am back again with the Immortal John Hancock. How's it going, dude?
Always a pleasure to be back.
Dude, isn't it surprising that we haven't yet done a proper Super Nintendo buying guide on my channel?
I know, but this is like the best time because there's a new model.
I know. Let's take a look. Well, let's get started. So, was this the first one that came out?
The ugly U.S. version of the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Also known as the SNES. You know.
That's right. That's right. So it's funny you mentioned, or you saw there that I was a little bit hesitant because I didn't jump in when this first came out. For whatever reason, I think at the time I was using my Commodore 64 so much, but
well, yeah, you know, and it's pastel colors, and you know, if you're a PC gaming, you probably did overlook the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but I gotta say though, going back now, I love collecting for it because there were so many great games for it. Yeah. Now, I would say that the one caveat for this though is the output. That it can be kind of confusing if you have a modern television how to get the best video of this, right?
You have some options now.
Right.
And again, your options are limited to third-party companies that have stock. So I know that, you know.
So it comes with this, which basically is the standard they use for quite a while with this AV out cable.
Yep, the composite
out. So basically just the yellow and then left and right audio.
Yes, there is aftermarket S-video cables you can get for your console. Now here's the downside. I know a lot of people out there, S-video is not available or being produced on modern television sets.
Right.
There is a company, HD Retrovision, and they do provide a component cable that works natively without modding your console on a Super Nintendo.
I had no idea. When you told me this, I was like, what? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if it's in stock, but I do have one of these cables that does work.
Yeah.
There are some incompatibilities with different HD TVs, but it's better than nothing.
Oh, sure.
And it looks great.
I bet it does. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first model. So tell me about this one.
All right, so this is like the SNES 2. You know, it used to be called the Mini.
Some people call it the Junior.
Yeah.
I've seen that on some forums.
It's just a smaller version with less components inside.
It's a nice looking console, actually. It's very sleek and kind of streamlined.
Yeah, so the downside is, the pro is it's smaller.
Okay.
The con is that it doesn't work with S-video cable.
Oh,
okay. And so there's some things, it's great if you want to collect the different versions of it. And there was a bunch of different pack-ins. So this is just the base model. They had a ton of different pack-in games. Even I want to say Star Fox. You know, some other games were bundled in with this.
Right.
Yoshi's Island. And so it's important to know that this model is mostly to collect if you're playing on a modern television set. Now, if you're playing on a classic television set, a CRT,
right,
it's fine, but it only works with composite.
Okay. So, and then of course we have to mention that now there is the Super Nintendo Classic Mini.
That's right. Yep.
Which actually is pretty exciting. I think that, you know, myself included, it's like I was excited to see Nintendo release, you know, the follow-up to the NES Classic last year.
Absolutely. You have Nintendo making an official, you know, mini version with a bunch of games built in.
Yeah.
Save states.
Yep.
And it's all bundled in together with the prototype Star Fox 2.
And some fantastic selection of games. I mean, if you're looking, if you don't know anything about the Super Nintendo and you just want to dip your toe into it, for $80, it is a heck of a deal.
Yeah, because now these days, some of these games, especially some of the games we're going to talk about, are $80 by themselves.
Yeah, a piece. It's a great value. Yeah. And of course, being that it's released this year, it supports HDMI. Oh, yeah. And also the controller is pretty much exactly the same shape of the original. So they really are trying to, you know, bring those games to the modern system and keep them intact. Also, we do want to do a quick shout out here, though. There are a bunch of clone systems.
Oh my goodness!
And you and I have tested a bunch of these. I have a Retron 5. There's a bunch of them. And so, if you're looking for, you know, a third-party solution to play your real games, your real cartridges on, there's definitely options.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know that the different clone consoles, depending on what they are, some play homebrew, some don't.
Right.
Some look better than others, and even the durability, the hardware of these clone consoles varies.
It varies. So you're definitely going to want to kind of dig around in sort of the reviews and see, because you know, I like the ones that allow you to use the real controllers. That to me is pretty important. So, but just be aware that that's another option for you. So speaking of controllers,
all right,
you have a couple here.
The classic.
I love this controller. It's so comfortable even today.
Yeah, and I mean this to me was one of the first, I would say, versions of a modern controller. Yes, it doesn't have analog or anything, but classic Nintendo control pad, shoulder buttons, 4 front buttons, start and select. I mean, controllers have copied this since then.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think for me, this was one of the first controllers that felt comfortable in my hands. It's rounded. It's not that square shape. It's kind of taken from the dog bone.
Yes.
A little bit of the NES, right?
Yeah, and it feels really nice. And the other thing about Nintendo controllers, as many know out there, extremely durable.
Yes.
I mean, this is a controller that you can beat on extensively, and it'll still work. I mean, that's important.
And it's designed for these, you know, button mashing games, and it'll last forever. Yeah. It's awesome, right?
Yep. Gosh, I remember so many memories of getting mad at a game and just
wanting
punching
to
a controller.
Yeah.
And this isn't from punching a controller. That's a skateboarding accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your bruised knuckles there.
Yeah, my knuckles I grated off.
So of course they also had an arcade stick.
Oh my gosh.
Which is a great arcade stick.
It is great. You know, for your Street Fighter 2 fighting.
Turbo options. Yes. Is there slow-mo on that as well? There's a bunch of different stuff going on here. So auto fire,
turbo, and I don't. Oh yeah, slow button.
Yeah,
right in front of me. This is great feature if you're playing like a shooter,
right? And
you want things to slow down. And what's kind of cool is some Super Nintendo games have that built in.
That's true.
Yeah,
a built-in slowdown. Yes. So okay, and then this weapon here.
Yeah, Lethal Enforcer's gun, the Justifier, and what's great about this is. It's got a nice feel to it. I don't know all the games it was compatible with, but I mostly use it for Lethal Enforcers.
Okay.
On a side note, the second controller is hooked into the bottom of this using like a phone jack.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh? But it's worth mentioning though that some people want to play light gun games, and in general those don't work on modern HD televisions. So just be aware that if you are a big fan like me of light gun games, you're going to want to have a CRT in your house and play it the way it was meant to be played. So just something to look out for, I guess.
Yeah, and we don't have it in front of us, but the Super Scope 6 was Nintendo. They didn't want to make a gun because it was very controversial at the time. So they made a.
This looks like a real gun if it wasn't blue.
Yeah, this is made by Konami, and Nintendo decided we're not going to make a gun. We're going to make a bazooka. You know,
go big or go home.
That's right.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that's the majority of it. Do we want to talk about this? Okay.
So, in my opinion, if you're going to get one accessory for your Super Nintendo, and you're playing, and this is not including the SNES Classic Mini,
right?
You got to get a Super Game Boy, and this opens up the library of original Game Boy carts that you can play on your console. This is one of the greatest things.
When this came out, it was groundbreaking. People loved it.
Yeah. And the other thing to note is this works on many of the clone consoles out there, including the Retron 5.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And so I love using this, and a nice crisp picture.
Yeah.
I love it. So, you know, especially the difficulty of finding the Game Boy Advance adapter for the GameCube.
Right.
And so this is a lot easier to get and cheaper.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't play Game Boy Advance games, just original Game Boy.
Okay. Huh.
So,
okay, cool. Yeah. And then you also have this. What is this?
Super MultiTap for those Bomberman tournaments.
Right.
Some other 4-player games. I don't know exactly all the compatibility. There's a lot of 4-player Super Nintendo games, but this is well built. You know, Hudson and
has a little B.
Got a little B. Got to play Bomberman. You got to use this.
Okay, very cool. So that's pretty quick on the hardware, but you know it's all about the games. Let's check those out. All right, dude. So many games here. Where do we start?
It is hard to pick a starting point. There's over 700 games in the US alone released for this. So if you don't see your game, it's okay.
Yeah. But we picked out some games here that we do think that everyone who gets this console should probably have in their collection.
Yes, and one of the first I recommend is Donkey Kong Country.
Dude, this game broke all sorts of ground.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I was telling you last night, I remember being a PC gamer, going into a Toys R Us, and seeing this game running on a monitor, and I was shocked how beautiful it was at the time. It was groundbreaking at the time.
Yeah, I mean, when I first played it, I'm like, how are they getting that?
Yeah.
How are they able to make that on just
yeah.
a Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
And, you know, this is at the tail end, you know, really to extend the Super Nintendo's life. Gorgeous game.
Beautiful.
Fun, 2-player.
Great music.
Yeah.
It's still fun to play even today. I mean, we were capturing the footage, and I could have kept going.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah.
And a timeless classic. Excellent.
Okay, cool. Super Metroid. Dude.
My gosh.
So, full disclosure, I'm actually not that big of a fan of the original Metroid on the NES. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's not this. They nailed it out of the park with Super Metroid. This is the reason why people say Metroidvania today, is because so much of it started here.
I think this is a good game to use as an example, is the Super Nintendo did many things that much better than the original Nintendo.
Good point.
Super Nintendo is an example of that. Better graphics, better sound, better gameplay, more diversity.
Yeah.
It just really, a lot of people, I think people that are Metroid fans would say Super Metroid is the gold standard for the series.
And I mean, I was so happy to get a complete copy in my collection. This is one of those games where I was like, you know. So yes, please pick it up.
Next one of the best 2D fighters.
I hear about this all the time.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, it is essentially the fighting game to get on Super Nintendo. It's the best version of it, in my opinion. And it was really one of the first games that I saw, wow, these home consoles can really do a good port of an arcade game. And this is, you know, at that time period where, you know, 2D fighting was huge.
Yes.
And they just knocked it out of the park. This is so well done. This really is the ultimate version where all the home versions that they did, especially the 16-bit era, this is the best version.
Right. All right, another classic. We would be crucified if we did not mention this game. That is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yes.
What do you say about this game other than it's an absolute classic for a reason? I mean, for so many people, this was their favorite game. For a lot of people, it still is their favorite game. Certainly their favorite Zelda game.
Took the original Legend of Zelda perspective, enhanced it. Excellent story, sound. It really, you know, I think back in looking at early magazines, it was Zelda 3 or whatever, and it was, you know, to me, I played that. I didn't play anything else for months. I just sat down, and that to me is like Nintendo at its peak point. Perfection. Just so many classic memories, and you know, it's a lot of people for 2D purists. That's the best.
I remember my cousin had a Super Nintendo, and this is the only game he had, and it didn't matter. We still played it a ton. It was so cool. So you're gonna want to pick it up.
Next one is my pick for my personal favorite on the console.
This was fun watching you play this last night, capturing footage.
Yeah, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I love these action platform style games you can pick up and play. I try to play this around October every year. I get in the mood, and it's wonderful. It does have a little bit of slowdown, but the graphics and sound are amazing. The other cool thing, it is included as one of the games on the SNES Classic Mini, which I'm really excited about. And, you know, again, the graphics, this really is an example of how well and excellent the graphics can be on a Super Nintendo.
Okay. All right, next up, I'm going to have two games here, and those are both by Squaresoft. These are RPGs. Basically, we have Final Fantasy III. This is also known as Final Fantasy VI. It's technically the sixth game in the series. We got it as 3. And then Chrono Trigger. So, this game, so Final Fantasy III, I got obsessed with it when it came out, because what I love about this game is that this was happening at a time when a lot of games were kind of like Lord of the Rings, orcs and elves. This is not. This is like a futuristic cyber steampunky thing, and it's just beautiful, epic. It's amazing.
And many hours.
But I still think this is definitely one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. And then we have Chrono Trigger, which was a game I actually didn't play until I actually played it on my PSP way back in the day. And again, got sucked into it. Chrono Trigger is a classic for a reason, because it has an epic story that goes throughout time. It has one of my favorite battle systems of that era. It still holds up today. It has great characters, an absolute joy. Both of these are must-plays.
Absolutely. Next up. Now, over a third of the library is sports. So we definitely have to mention sports titles. Now, there's some other classics I would include, but you know, with our list, if you're going to pick one sports game, NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
People even talk about this today. They love it.
Yeah, there's so many. It's just a pick up and play game. It's basketball. People understand the concept of basketball. Right. Fast and furious arcade game. You can play a game, you know, 10, 15 minutes or less.
Right.
It has so many great little features, a lot of hidden codes.
Is this the one where Bill Clinton shows up?
There's one of them. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's this version, but yeah, there's some hidden codes in it. I think so.
Okay.
I think so. But again, it's the commentary is great. Play this game. Yeah, it's great.
I've heard that this is a game for... I'm not a big sports fan.
Yeah.
But I've heard that this is one of those games that even non-sports game fans can pick up and play and have fun with.
Yeah, so an interesting side story is one of the early Portland Retro Gaming Expos. We did a tournament on this, and it went over very well.
Really?
Yeah, and so it was just kind of a fun casual sports game. Plays like an arcade game.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
So we wanted to include also a racing game.
Yes.
You and I went back and forth. Originally we were going to choose Mario Kart, and we're like, does it really hold up? I don't know. And then we're like, well, we could do F-Zero, which does hold up, but we're like, it's too on the nose. So I thought we should do Biker Mice from Mars.
Wow.
So... Actually, the reason why I chose this one is because you want to do Rock and Roll Racing, which is a great suggestion. This is just like that, but even weirder. So basically, it's an isometric racing game, very much like Rock and Roll Racing, very much like RC Pro-Am back on the NES days.
Okay.
Super fun to play, great graphics, controls really well. You know, is it the best racing game? You can debate, but I do think it's super fun, so I wanted to include it.
And it was correct me if I'm wrong, it was a 90s cartoon?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I never watched it. I don't know. So I just know that when I was really getting into Rock and Roll Racing, someone's like, oh, you've got to check out Biker Mice from Mars.
All right, cool. I'll have to play that at home.
Yeah.
All right, this next one is another oddity, and it's part action platform, part simulation, and it's Actraiser. And there's one of two. I think the first one's better.
Okay.
And Actraiser's a must play. Again, gorgeous graphics. And there really isn't a game. It's one of these games that comes along, and there's not a single other game just like it. It's a combination of two different style of games, which sim games at the time were really popular.
Right.
And I appreciate it. And it's a console exclusive.
Okay.
So yeah. Check it out. Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4. Now, this was a great series on Nintendo. There was an awesome version of it on Sega Genesis.
Right.
I think the Super Nintendo is the best version. And graphics, gameplay, it's just a timeless arcade classic style brawler. And
you love your brawlers.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you know, well, they technically have weapons, but yes, I mean it's well done. And highly recommend this. Playing this 2-player. I usually pick Leonardo as my turtle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, is that included on the Super Nintendo Mini? Oh.
No.
Okay. Gonna want to pick up the physical version of it then.
My box is totally beat up. I've had this in my collection a long time.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a freebie at one of the early PRGE shows, the box was. It was just in a free pile because it was all tattered up. And so I said, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.
And then, you know, should we include a Mario game? I don't know. You know, everyone's sick of hearing about Mario. No, of course, we picked two of them here.
That's right. Yeah.
Super Mario All-Stars.
Yeah, so Super Mario All-Stars is a must-play. And to me, if you play it on the Super Nintendo, you're not going to go back and play the classics on Nintendo anymore. Better graphics, better sound, save states.
Right.
There's, again, it has Lost Levels, which was the Japanese version of Super Mario Brothers 2.
Okay.
And it really, to me, is the best way to play Super Mario Brothers classic games.
Oh, it has Super Mario 3 on here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I love that game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's amazing.
Okay.
And so, to me, and again, that's not on the SNES Classic Mini. And so, definitely worth getting the cart. And there's also a variation of it that includes Super Mario World, which, again, is the game that was made ground up for the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And so this is essentially
all
Super Mario Brothers 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this is, you know, the pack-in, the original release for Super Nintendo.
Is that the one where it has the overworld map?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it kind of like Super Mario Brothers 3, but yeah, it's just everything better graphics.
Okay.
I mean, to me, that is a better package because there's so many great games all in one. But this is pretty classic. I mean, it's larger. It's a larger game. Pick it up. It's amazing.
See, I need to go back and replay these. This is what this is telling me here.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. All
yeah,
right.
I'm going to go home and play some Biker Mice.
I know, you should, totally. And I want to jump back into Chrono Trigger, because as I think about it, I'm like, man, that was such a good game at the time. I loved it. I was playing on my PSP at so many hours. So, all right, dude. So obviously we could have gone on and on and on and on. And there's so many great games for the system. That's what's so fun about collecting for it, is that, I mean, there's something for everyone.
What games would you include on this list? Put them in comments below.
Yeah, I know. We'd love to know, because is your collection complete at this point?
Yes, I'm missing many boxes of manuals, but cart only. I have the complete retail set of the Super Nintendo. I did a video on my channel about it, and I want to thank everybody that contributed to it and thank me. It was a long journey, 25 plus years.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because when we were getting ready to do this video, you're like, hey, what box of games do you have? And I sent you a with about this wide. I only have like 4 or something like that. Yeah. But the reason why I mention that is because I am someone who is always looking for, digging deeper into my Super Nintendo collection. So
absolutely, it's
cool, having videos like this too. In your comments, what I should pick up. So it's awesome. All right, dude. So where can people find you on the internet?
You can look up the immortal John Hancock.
Right.
And I have my own YouTube channel, Facebook page, Twitter.
And Instagram. He says he doesn't use it.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and take care. If you are looking to go a bit deeper into the Super Nintendo games catalog, well, you are in luck, because John and I did a series of hidden gems videos for my channel, and I think we show at least 30, maybe even more hidden gems for this awesome console. So you're gonna definitely want to check those out. Also, if you like this video, you're gonna want to be subscribed, because I release 2 new videos every single week. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching.